All right, guys, so I'm starting a new series of videos covering some very cool stuff, some very cool plugins and virtual instruments in Cubase. Now, I'm using for this video Cubase 13, Cubase Pro, and we are checking out the VocalChain plugin. So let's get started. Let me show you what is this and why it is one of the best plugins in Cubase right now. This is a multi-module plugin. So as you can see on the left side, we have a list of modules like cut filter, we have gate, pitch, de-esser, dynamic filter, compressor, and EQ. And then we have another set to sort of shape the characters. So we're starting cleaning up stuff, then we are adding some character, and finally we have some send effects like imager, delay, and reverb. So I'm gonna get started with my demo song. I'm gonna bypass this and let's have a quick listen.
I know you're broken. I know you're giving up.
So this is super dry. So to kind of give you an idea of what we can do with this plugin, I'm going to load up something. I'm going to go with the female pop vocal preset. So this is going to give us some basic moves around shaping the sound. And I'm going to go into the overview right here on the top, and you can see that we have all these controls right here, and I'm not doing a deep dive. This is not the intention of this video, but let's have a listen with this specific preset.
I know you're broken. I know you're giving up. And yeah, I know you're thinking that your time won't come.
So out of the box, this preset is not well tuned for this particular vocal, and that's fine because we're using presets. You always need to dig deeper and see what exactly you're doing here, not just use any preset. So let's see what we've got. First of all, on the top we have a cut filter, and you can solo this. You can solo this particular module, and let's have a listen.
I know you're broken. I know.
And you can see we have a low cut and a high cut, and you can shape this differently. For example, get a different slope, like 12 dB per octave for the high cut, and so on. So this is to remove some of the rumble on the low end and some of the unnecessary high frequencies. But we also have later the EQ and other tools to shape the sound and get it into the perfect position. But this is the cut filter. Then we have a gate, and in this particular recording, I don't need a gate. Everything is pretty quiet. The noise floor is very low. We don't need that one. Pitch. This is a pitch correction module. We have some scale source right here that can be internal or external. It can be chromatic, major or minor. And then we have some controls just to get things in the right pitch. You don't have to use it if you have other, maybe better plugins. So that's fine. And then the de-esser, this is where I would like to get some things tuned. So let's have a listen. I'm going to just again start from the top.
I know you're broken. I know you're.
So you can see that red flickering right here, that is the actual reduction, and we can set the reduction amount right here. We have threshold right now. It is on auto, and there are some other things that you can do. And of course, you can widen or narrow the band right here.
You're giving up. And yeah, I know you're thinking that your time won't come.
So I'm going to leave that on auto. Let's move on to our EQ. And here there's some basic moves. I'm not going to do anything right now, but remember, we do have the cut filter to remove most of the low end, which I'm mostly worried about, and you can see it right here in gray.
You're crying in the pieces, laying broken on the floor.
And then we have the compressor. Again, here I'm a little bit more worried about the out-of-the-box settings with the plugin and preset. So we can see the amount of compression right here. And then we have this dry wet option. I can turn it on and you can set it to whatever. So that's like kind of parallel compression. And there are some other things that you can do here. So again, just showing you what's included here. And let's have a listen.
But you put them back together every time before. I know it's like your world is just caved in, and every single prayer just wasted. But baby, there is beauty in the making, so
cool. So that is the compressor, and then we have a dynamic filter. So this is very interesting stuff. So we can sidechain this. You can drive in something if you want to use this and have some ducking and some more advanced mixing. You can do that. And you can see we have these two options here, the dynamic 1 and 2 right here. And as we play the music, we have threshold, and you'll see the module working.
no, don't go thinking that nobody's gonna love you. No.
So this will help us tame specific ranges of frequencies that we feel that needs more dynamic work, and that is the dynamic filter. And then we move into the character. So we have exciter right here. I'm going to go here. Let's turn it on. So just amount and clarity, nothing special.
Nobody's gonna love you. Somebody's. I know you're broken. I know you're giving up. And yeah, I know you're thinking that your time won't come.
So it's very subtle. And of course, every recording is a little bit different, but we can leave it. It's very, very mild. So then we go into saturator. And again, usual stuff like drive, we have mix, we have the frequency range, sort of a filter bank right here. You can turn it on and off. So that is the saturator. Of course, you can click this drop down right here and get different types. Like we have tape, tube, and distortion.
But you put them back together every time before. I know it's like your world is just caved in, and every single prayer just wasted.
Then we have another compressor. This is kind of a technique that many people use, using two compressors, one after the other, and you can put them right one on top of the other, or maybe separate them in the chain. But anyway, we have another compressor. You don't have to do it, but we have another one right here.
But baby, there is beauty in the making, so.
And there are some different settings here. You can see the type of compression, Vox compressor. We have transparent, extreme, or black valve. Let me know if you have an idea what exactly is that one. And then we can try the first one, the Vox comp.
Ooh, no, don't go back together every time.
Now, I do want to talk about something. As we are checking out this plugin, you can see that the output is completely above our input, way above it. So the question is, who's causing that? Where do we get that boost in the output? And what can we do about that? And maybe you want this, maybe you don't, but you need to pay attention. So, for example, let's have a listen to the compressor and see how that works.
Before I know it's like your world is just caved in, and every single prayer just wasted. But baby,
So when I solo the compressor, I already see that the compressor is adding more gain. And you can compensate on that one. You can just reduce the output.
baby, there is beauty in the making. So no, don't go. You put them back together every time before. I know it's like your world is just caved in, and every single prayer just wasted. But baby, there is beauty in the making.
Anyway, that is one of the modules that is pushing our output, and we can again compensate back, and I can just reduce everything, but we'll do that later as the final stage, because really I still don't know who's adding that. Maybe it's just compound effect. We are adding more and more gain as we go. So next we have another dynamic filter. We have another EQ to just fix some things, or maybe, carve out some of the frequencies, and then another de-esser. Finally, we have an imager, delay, and reverb modules. Now I can just remove this imager from here, right? We don't need it. Then we have the delay, and with all standard kind of settings. And right now it's on ping pong. I don't really like ping pong. I'm gonna go with the stereo. And then you have the time signature, you have feedback and other controls. And finally, we have the reverb. You have some different types of reverbs. You have the ambient, bright, cathedral, and so on. So you can go for this one, for lush pop, for example. Let's have a listen.
So wasted, but baby, there is beauty in the making. So
it's much more intimate, and it's not like washing the vocals. So I think we're pretty much done here. Of course, there's a lot to do. Let's have a final listen.
You put them back together every time before. I know it's like your world is just caved in, and every single prayer just wasted. But baby, there is beauty in the making. So no, don't go thinking that.
Right, so that was the VocalChain plugin in Cubase. Really hope you enjoy this one. Let me know in the comments which plugin or virtual instrument or whatever you want to see in Cubase in my next videos, and I'll do my best to cover that. And so I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you, and bye-bye.